Ratchet, I have found a way to shut down the containment fields and release all the heroes.
You're kidding. That's amazing.
He's had help.
Al? You're alive. They said your body was beyond repair.
No biggie. I got a new one. Check this out.
Whoa. Okay. So, what's the plan?
We have acquired schematics for the entire battle dome. There is a central computer on the control level that regulates power to the containment fields.
So what? Reprogram it? Hack it?
Blast it. Just blow it up and the fields go down.
Okay, so how do I get to the control level?
I have reprogrammed the battle dome shuttle to take you there, but it is a one-way ride.
Hello everyone and welcome back to more Ratchet Deadlocked. Today, we are not going to be wrapping up this game because we still have some things that I really want to do. First of all, let's go double check Al's shop because I don't think there's anything new here. I just want to double check. Yeah, we already have everything that we can get there. But, so, take a look right now. So we only have 1, 2, and 3 of our weapons at level 10. My plan is for this finale, I'm going to make sure that all of my weapons get to level 10. So it's going to involve a lot of grinding. But before we do that though, we got a little bit of unfinished business on the Battle Dome shuttle, or sorry, on the planetary transport. So, what we are going to do is go back to some of the levels.
Control level.
Yeah, what we're going to do is go back and get some of the skill points that I was not able to get in the past. Because now that we have all the weapons that we need, we'll be able to get these in no time. So,
let's do this.
First things first, the skill point long shot. You need to kill 10 enemies in 60 seconds with the fusion rifle. Pretty simple. You get the skill point mix and match. You need to kill 10 enemies with 5 different mods. Pretty simple, like all the other mod challenges. You just need to make sure all your weapons have different mods, and the minute you kill something, just swap to the weapon that has a mod you haven't used yet. Pretty easy. To get beat them up, you need to kill 15 enemies with the Scorpion Flail in 30 seconds. Again, since our Scorpion Flail is kind of like maxed out and everything, this is insanely easy. To get no fly zone, you need to kill 4 dropships with the Arbiter. I heavily recommend the second level of Serathos because at this point, the Arbiter can actually one-shot a lot of the dropships that you encounter. And on top of that, there are exactly 4 of them, so as long as you can keep track of them, you're set. Finally, we have the skill point, the Big Bang. You need to kill 4 DZ Strikers in one shot. This is a lot harder than it sounds because, funnily enough, there are usually only 4 DZ Strikers in one area. And the funny thing is, at this point in the game, Merc and Green can actually one-shot the ones at Serathos pretty easily. So all you gotta do is just make sure you go to Serathos Swamp Romp, make sure that Merc and Green are doing one of the stinking bolt cranks, and hope that you can align all 4 of the DZ Strikers in that little arena where you can get them all with 1 fusion rifle shot. And that'll do it. You can potentially use the B6 Obliterator or Arbiter, but I tried and it's very difficult to pull that off with those weapons, so the fusion rifle is usually your best bet. But anyway, that is it for Serathos for now. Let us go all the way back to Kronos because we got 4 more challenges that we have to do here. Oh lord, I have to do one with the Morph mod. Actually, that sounds pretty easy. Alright, let's go. To get the skill point, don't flail me now. You need to use the Scorpion Flail to kill 25 enemies in a row. Very easy, especially if you have it in its Omega version, the Leviathan Flail. That just makes it like absurdly easy. Good lord. To get the skill point, who am I? You need to keep 3 enemies brainwashed at once using the Brainwash mod. Hilariously, if you use the Dual Raptors with the Brainwash mod on a bunch of Swarmers, even though the Swarmers will die from the bullets, they will be brainwashed enough to the point where you can get this skill point. It is hilarious. To get the skill point big changes, you need to use the Morph mod to morph 40 enemies. This can be pretty simple, especially if you give it to the Dual Raptors, hilariously, because the bouncy bullets will just go around, hit enemies, constantly morph them over and over again. It's pretty funny, honestly. Finally, to get the skill point Jet Assist, you need to use the Arbiter to kill 25 enemies in 40 seconds. This can be very easy, honestly, because The Arbiter already has decent splash damage and everything, so as long as you go to like the first level where there's a lot of enemies in the beginning segment, you can get this in no time. Also, that is it for Kronos. So, the next plan is to get all my remaining weapons to level 10, starting with the Hollow Shield Launcher because exploit, let's go. And that's the first level up for the Hollow Shield Launcher. And now the Hollow Shield Launcher is at level 9. Let's go.
Interesting fact, folks. Dreadzone started out.
And we finally have the omni-shield launcher, which hilariously is like the easiest one to get. There's, compared to the other Omega weapons, there's not really much of a difference with this one, except it has like a little static field around it now, which means if enemies hit it, that does like increase damage and everything, but that's about it. The Omni-Shield Launcher is kind of the most underwhelming of the ultimate forms of each of the weapons compared to the Dual Raptors, the Leviathan Flail, and the Antimatter. It's just pretty lackluster in comparison. Anyway, time to start getting the weapon EXP for the next weapon. Yeah, that's the sentence I just said. Oh, Lord. Alright, so now for the real strategy for the rest of the weapons. We're going to be going back to Dreadzone Station for this one because there is a certain level that is really, really nice for getting your weapons leveled up. So let's go. Alright, so now that we're back at our containment suite, we're going to be going and doing a lot, and I mean a lot of the level End Zone, because End Zone is the level that has an insane amount of enemies, and you're able to level up your weapons pretty fast in this one. Just make sure you give all your weapons a shock mod, and they will get to level 10 in a decent amount of time. Alright, here goes. Magma Cannon, level 9. Another good level to grind up one of your weapons is the Static Death Trap level, where you're stuck with only the Hunter Mine Launcher. Since the Hunter Mine Launcher is thinking ammo will replenish over time, it's actually pretty nice for, like, it's actually a pretty nice level for it, and you can actually get it to high levels pretty fast. Alright, the Hunter Mine Launcher is now level 9. Another good one that you can do is Dynamite Baseball because of the amount of high-level enemies you have to deal with. This can be very, very nice for getting a good amount of EXP, and on top of that, it's not nearly as it's not nearly as frustrating as less as more can get. So I'm gonna do this as well. Mini turrets are now at level 7, very nice. And finally, the Arbiter has become the Silencer. This is one of the more significant upgrades to a weapon in this game because instead of just one rocket, you have 3 now. And good lord, this thing can just shred everything in its path. This is debatably the best of the upgrades, and oh my lord, I love it so stinking much. This rocket launcher is so good. Finally, the Magma Cannon has become the Vulcan Cannon. The Vulcan Cannon has access to homing shots for a shotgun. Who thought this was a good idea? And if I ever meet them, holy crud, I want to give them as much praise as possible because, oh my gosh, this makes it so the Magma Cannon, or I guess Vulcan Cannon now, is insane. Because these homing shots are really nice, and you can just look at this. It's just wrecking everything in its path. I love it so stinking much. Ah, man. We finally have the stalker-mine launcher. This thing shoots massive mines that can explode into mini mines, making it really, really wild. This one is, again, one of the better upgrades for a weapon in the game, and it also with crud. As I was trying to say, it's one of the better upgrades for a weapon in this entire game because of how insane these mines can be. Like, oh my lord, these are absolutely wild. And again, Stalker Mine Launcher just rules. Oh my gosh, the mini turrets are finally at level 8. Hooray! The B6 Obliterator is finally at level 9. Oh lord. Mini turret launcher is level 9 now. I died whenever it became level 9, so we didn't get the nice little thing for it. Oops. Finally, we now have the B11 Vaporizer. This thing is a lot stronger than the Obliterator because every time it blows up, or every time the bomb explodes, there is a massive explosion behind it. And you can actually increase the radius of that explosion via different weapon mods. So yeah, this thing can be really, really nice. And finally, after the grueling process, all of my weapons are now at level 10. And the best part is, the Quasar turrets are really stinking good because these things have not only pierced through different enemies, but have really fast attack times and are just really, really good. Like, look at this. These are just shredding through all of these enemies right now. It is amazing. But now that we are done with that, we're gonna go back to Dreadzone Station really quick and go through the next plan. Alright, so here is the plan. As you all can see, all of my weapons are now at level 10. But there is only one weapon missing that we don't have yet. That being the Harbinger. So this thing costs 2 million bolts and is really, really hard to get in a non-New Game Plus playthrough because of that reason. But I am going to go through the grueling process of getting this thing because I have actually never gotten this on a standard playthrough before, so this will be the first time I will ever have done that. This is going to take a long time, and I'm going to bring up certain like little tips here and there on how to get a lot of bolts. But yeah, let's do this thing. So to get enough bolts in order to get the Harbinger, there are a couple things that you can do. One, getting the jackpot mod. There are a total of two jackpot mods in the entire game. One from the Dual Vipers, and one from the Magma Cannon. You have to get them to level 10 first beforehand, but it is definitely worth it because the Jackpot mod increases the amount of bolts that you get from defeated enemies by 50%. And I believe this does in fact stack, so that means you can get 100% more bolts from enemies if you have both mods equipped to the same weapon. So equip them to your favorite weapon and just watch them work. The other strategy that you can do is revisiting past missions, because there are bolt prizes that you still will not have gotten on the first run, because while you do get a set amount of bolts the first time you complete a level, you'll still be able to go replay that level, and if you complete it, you'll still get some extra bolts. This is really, really helpful for getting up to 2 million. Because good lord, it takes you forever. Finally, the other method is going to the Ghost Station. The Ghost Station, in my opinion, has the best amount of enemies that drop a good amount of bolts. So if you constantly replay certain levels from the Ghost Station, there is a good chance you'll be able to meet the threshold eventually. It will still take you forever to reach this point if you're not playing a New Game Plus, but I will say it can definitely be worth it because now that I am at 2 million bolts, I can finally obtain the best weapon in this entire game, the Harbinger. This weapon is a thing of mass destruction and is my favorite super weapon in the entire series. You will all see why in a moment. But now that we have obtained it, first of all, what we're going to do is give it a nice little weapon mod. I'm going to go for the freeze mod because in the event that it doesn't somehow kill everything in its path, it will definitely help with stopping enemies temporarily. So yeah, now that we have the Harbinger, let's go give this bad boy a test run. Alright, back at Catacrom 4, we are going to go ahead and equip the Harbinger. This is, funnily enough, is the first level where I ever got to use this weapon. But here we go. Look at that. That is, oh, it's so beautiful. Okay, let's just launch another one real quick. Oh my lord, this is just absolute art. This weapon is so good. The only downside to the Harbinger is its unfortunately limited ammo. Thankfully though, this thing gets nothing but ammo mods, whenever it levels up, so you are all set. But yeah, it just this weapon at level 1 decimates the entire level. It is so good. I think I'm gonna go for one extra test run real quick for the sake of it. All right, this is gonna be fun as well. Unfortunately though, for the Harbinger, it is a money guzzler because every single shot is 1,000 bolts, which makes sense, but yeah, it's definitely making me have to think a bit more about my current bolts, because look at this, my current bolts are very, very low right now after buying this bad boy. I don't care because this is absolute art. I'm gonna wait till we get to the best point of this level to do it, because oh my lord. Okay, yeah, we can launch it right now.
What I want to know.
Yeah, so this level is actually a decent way to level up the Harbinger as well, at least early on anyway, because there's gonna be a lot of enemies and everything that you can fight. And due to that mass amount, it can help it level up just a little bit. To be fair, it's probably just preferable to go to the final level with this thing and use it there. But still, if you want to give it a little bit of a head start, feel free to do it on this level, because look at this. It is shredding everything in its path. It is just beautiful. And again, this weapon is just incredible. Oh, man. Now that all of our weapons have reached level 10, and we have finally obtained the Harbinger, the only thing left to do is to go to the control level and bring an end to Vox's plans for good, which is exactly what we're going to be doing in the final episode of Ratchet Deadlocked. I'll see you all then, guys. Bye!